Put your hands together, be kind, and listen to Comedy Stylings, Mr. Yitzy Halen. You guys get it for him.
Whoa! Whoa! Lower this a little bit. I'm not really that short, but I feel like. How you guys doing tonight? Clap for me, because it's my first time. How you guys doing tonight? All right, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Yitzy Halen, however you want to say it. I recently got divorced. That wasn't the bad part. The marriage was the bad part. I want to tell you a little bit. I want to give you a little bit of insight about marriage and what it entails. Marriage entails commitment. There's a lot of commitment that goes on in marriage. I'm not sure if everybody knows about this, and I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of like the extent of commitment that marriage entails until there's a certain turning point in my marriage when I realized what I was in for, and that is when our new mattresses got delivered to our apartment. They came with a 15-year warranty. Like, holy shit, that is a long, long time. Now, there's a couple things that you guys got to know about marriage. You know, you might have a girlfriend, you might be in a relationship, you might think you understand women, but there's something that you need to understand. Women have magical powers, okay? And these powers, I see all the women in the crowd like, you just gave us up, but yeah, I'm going to sell you out tonight. These powers can be used for good, they could be used for evil. And once you get married, that crosses over and they begin to be used for evil. I'll explain to you the most powerful power that a woman has, and that is the ability to identify the precise moment in which you are about to fall asleep, inevitably followed by, "Are you still up?" Or, "I am now." All right, what else do we have going on? You can tell I'm not all right, now, when I got divorced, so I was sort of up in the air, and I really needed a job, which tells you a lot about my marriage. And so I was looking for a lot of different jobs, and I got really lucky. I got hooked up with a guy who's really, really good at what he does, and it's a privilege to work for him. The problem is that when you work for people who are really, really good at what they do, often they are completely and totally out of their mind. And this guy is totally, totally, totally crazy, and I didn't realize how crazy he was until we had the interview. This guy works in the finance industry. My interview should have been in a conference room, and I should have been wearing a suit. In essence, my interview was in a Dunkin' Donuts, and I was wearing jeans and sneakers at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. And this guy comes barreling in, and he pulls up in a Lexus that's way too big for anybody to ever be driving. They should not make Lexuses this big. It's like you're definitely overcompensating for something if you're driving a car that says Lexus that big. Anyways, he pulls up, he walks into the Dunkin' Donuts, he's like, "How you doing?" He tells me his name in a very high-pitched voice. He's full of energy, all over the place, completely out of his mind. He's like, "All right, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do." This guy hasn't met me, I sent him a resume one time. Like, "This is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna have you come in every day. We work in Washington, D.C. We're meeting in a Baltimore Dunkin' Donuts. We work in Washington, D.C. You're gonna come in, you're gonna work from 8 to 8. I'm doing like once, whoa, that's 12 hours, man. Like, that's not how many hours most people work. We're gonna work from 8 to 8, okay? You're gonna work from 8 to 8. And then I'm gonna pay you this much. Before time, you're gonna be making $1 million. The second year, you're gonna be making $3 million. After that, if you're good, you'll be making $5 million a year. I'm like, no. Like, you're not, that doesn't happen. Like, what you're saying is it's not adding up. Like, okay, all right. So I did some research. His numbers were slightly off, but it was still somebody that was, was worth it to work for. I show up in the office the first day, and I'm just sitting there spacing out, not knowing what the hell is going on, and I'm like, how about you, like, I just sit behind you and watch you work, which is one of the most annoying things anybody could ever do, is sitting behind somebody working on a computer. But I was like, you know what the hell, I'm sitting here picking my nose anyways, I might as well get something out of it. So I sit behind him, he's like, "Sure, you want to watch me work? Watch me work." I get behind him, and the guy fucking starts Googling massage in Bethesda. That is what he was doing. This is a massage. I'm like, holy crap, the guy's going for a happy ending. He doesn't know that I'm sitting right behind him. And he picks up, evidently he wanted a deep tissue massage. He picks up the phone, he calls the place, and he's like, okay, I need to know, I need a deep tissue massage. Deep tissue. They're like, "Okay, sir, what time would you like to come in?" "I'd like to come in at 3 o'clock today." "I'm sorry, sir, we have no times available." See, like, he's not used to that. Nobody says no to this guy, right? So he did a double take. He's like, "All right, okay." He doesn't know what to do, takes a deep breath. He's like, "Okay, you guys are number 1 in Bethesda, right? Who's number 2? Where can I get this second best deep tissue massage?" I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a ride working for this guy. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Next day number 2. Guy sends something to the printer, walks out of his office, goes to the printer, waiting for the thing to print. Not happening. We don't know the feeling. The printer's making all types of error messages. We have no idea what the hell they mean. We start taking pictures of it, Googling it, red light flashing. The guy starts opening drawers, banging it, smashing it. For some reason, all the women of the office converge upon him, and they're like, dude, that's not going to do it, man. It's not going to get it to go. And he slams it one last time, and the fucking thing just goes, and it just starts printing out, and he turns around to all these women, and he goes, it's like a wife, you beat it up a little, and it listens. Holy crap. Okay. I don't work for him or know him. I am not associated with him in any way. I want to tell you guys a little story. A story that happened to me a while ago. I was 18 years old, and I just got my driver's license. I'm from New York, in case you guys couldn't hear it through my thick Baltimore accent. But I'm from New York, and I convinced my parents to let me go on a road trip with a bunch of my friends. So we got on the road. We had no idea where the hell we were going. We ended up in Pennsylvania, and in Pennsylvania there's huge signs that says, is that my time? Did you flash me? Am I spacing out? I'm good? I got 2 minutes? There's huge signs all over. Fireworks, get fireworks, 50% off, fireworks, 75% off. Nobody knows what the starting price for fireworks is, so it doesn't really matter if they're 50% off, 75%.
That's so true.
Anyways, we pull up the road. We're so excited because in New York they're illegal. I think they're illegal here also. I'm not sure. It's not something I check when I go to places. But
we don't advocate it.
Anyways, we pull out. We get a shit ton of fireworks, and right before we buy the fireworks, they're like, "We need your IDs." They make copies of our IDs. They freaking photocopies are like, "Why are you putting our IDs on file? We only we bought fireworks. Like, let's just understand what we did here." We bought fireworks. They're like, "Okay." She's like, you can't." You can't, shoot them off in Pennsylvania. I'm wrapping up in a minute. And we were like, okay, so where could you shoot them off? Like, what's the closest state? She's like, oh, it's about 800 miles away. We're like, I feel like you should have told this to us before we bought the fireworks. Like, you should be like a big sign, like coming in. These fireworks cannot be used within an 800-mile radius. Like, that may not be good for business, but come on, man. Like, what is happening? Anyways. We're driving. Long story short, because I'm a little short on time here, we ended up in this place called Canadensis, Pennsylvania. It was the only place that would rent a room to guys that weren't 21. And we're 4 guys, right? It's just guys. We pull up to this place. They rented us a cabin. And they're like, this is, they've worked with our budget. We walk up there. There's a big sign in the front of our cabin that says, Love Shack. 4 dudes, 2 beds. One of the guys that were there, his name is Albert. He's 350 pounds, 6'4". We drew straws for who was sleeping with Albert. All right. Anyways, the guys. I'm not this guy. I'm not like a party pooper. I'm not a guy who shut it down. But they wanted to shoot the fireworks. They wanted to do the fireworks. Like, fuck, we're gonna do the fireworks. I was like, I really don't think it's a good idea. We're in Canadensis, Pennsylvania. Like, population total of like 3, and like the guy that rented us the apartment is the sheriff and the gas station guy. Like, I really don't think that is a good idea. We got in the car. We drive down the block. We get into a parking lot, empty parking lot. I'm like, I'm not fucking getting out of the car. I'm not getting into the car. Right now, me and Albert sitting in the back seat. Albert's undoing. Albert is very large and imposing and scary, but at the same time, not. Like, I can't explain it. Like, he's like a shy, timid guy, interesting dude, good friend of mine. But he's sitting there just listening to what everybody's telling him. They're like, Albert, unwrap the fireworks, get them ready. So he's like, I'm unwrapping the fireworks. I'm like, I'm not getting out of the car. And before anything happened, before a match was struck, woo! The cops show up. Legit, the cops fucking show up. I'm like, how did this happen? What is going? It's because they took our licenses. They've been following us for 2.5 hours. Cops show up, lights in our face, hands on your head, right? Okay, hands on your head. This has never happened to me before. I finally convinced my parents to let me go on a road trip. I'm 18 years old. They're gonna have to drive down to Canadensis, Pennsylvania, and bail me out of like the jail / gas station / convenience store. And I'm like, oh my god, this is not happening to me. So my hands are on my head, right? And I'm like, of course, my go-to is like, Al, get the fireworks in the bag, man. Get the fireworks in the bag. So Albert's hands on his head. He starts like, you're like, hands on your head. So Albert's like this, right? Like back and forth. I'm like, Al, fireworks in the bag. So he's like, hands on your head. So Al's doing a little dance in the back of the car. Okay,